What's good, everybody? Want to welcome y'all, man, to OG Suicide in the Building, episode 2, featuring my nephew, AD.
What's happening?
Let's get into it.
Let's go.
My show pretty much, what I'm building is for, like, suicide awareness, suicide prevention. We have so many people in the world that's experiencing it, that's going through it. On the average, they say, let's say around the world, about 700 and something thousand plus people commit suicide yearly. So that averages, let's say every 11 minutes, somebody commits suicide. People kick it under the rug like it really don't matter, which is serious. Me being a suicide survivor, it's always been important to me to let's figure out the narratives on suicide awareness, because everything's curable. We can't save everybody. I understand that part, but the ones we can. And, I know you've been in the music game. You just dealing with everyday life. I'm sure, nephew, you've came across times where you've experienced depression. You went through depression.
100%.
Let's touch on, a topic or something that you experienced yourself going through depression, and where did it have you at? Did it have you in a dark spot, or did it just have you, like, let's just say, at the edge of life?
You was there. Just living in our neighborhood, And at the time, trying to make shit work with music, and having my daughter to feed, and it's like you got to choose. Do I buy this extra pack of diapers, or do I hustle up a little studio time, or do you know what I'm saying? And just you feel like you trapped and you're limited. And I remember I was 19, and I had a pending felony case, resisting arrest with heavily force. Police officer said,
remember that. Yes.
Yeah, police officer said I was trying to fight him, whatever the fuck that shit was. But trying to get a job with that pending on your record, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to get a regular job, and wasn't nobody fucking with me. You know what I mean? So for a whole year, I didn't have no employment. If it wasn't for, God rest her soul, if it wasn't for grandma, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
I'd have been in a real fucked up place, and with a baby on the way. So at that time, I felt trapped. I was like, damn. And then, niggas is texting me like, nigga, when we see you, we gonna chip you and all type of shit too. So you got that going on. You about to bring a life. Bro, the street life, you got that. You got that happening. You got, you know what I'm saying, baby on the way. You don't got no real income. You ain't got no roof over your head other than what your grandma's providing.
The granny house,
you know what I'm saying? She had cancer at the time. You know what I mean? She beat it the first time, but she had cancer at the time. So, I was like, damn. Like I'm a fuck up in life. You know what I'm saying? I'm stuck. And at that point, you know what I mean? That was probably like my lowest point. Like
this, I'm at the bottom of everything.
Haircut, $5, you know what I'm saying? I was barely getting enough to do that shit. So it was like, man, that was a dark time. But, I always kept the faith, because I always knew, like, something gonna work.
And what would you say? What was that something that you would say that, like, things started to shift for in a better direction? Pretty much. What would you say that was at that particular time?
It's just short gains in life.
Yeah.
Always keep you going. So it's like I tell people now, like, if you don't got a whiteboard, get a whiteboard and write short-term goals for yourself that you can actually complete.
Exactly.
Look at that every morning
and check them off one by one. And
once you do that, replace them with other ones. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And just them little short-term goals, that's what kept me going. So, like back then, it was literally like little shit, like get posted on this blog. You know what I mean? Or get this many songs done.
Everything
Get this done. Everything counted. Once you accomplish that, and you're like, damn, and I still do that to this day.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I put my whiteboard up for the year.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, I'm going to check all this shit off. And, boom, even this year, nigga, I knocked my checkboard off. My checks on my whiteboard off in April. You know what I mean? So it's like mission accomplished already. So everything else is a plus. So get that whiteboard, get your short-term goals and stuff like that. But that's the little goals just kept, and it wasn't even like money. It was just I'm making progress. Because everybody want to go from A to Z. Nobody want to go A, B, C, D, E.
They don't want to do the footwork.
They don't want to do the footwork.
That's the most important part of anything.
And that's the foundation.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If you don't got that foundation, your whole operation gonna crumble.
Yes.
Right below. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, that was dark times, man.
So what? Okay, let's say we're moving past that. We're current. We're current now. Like let's say within the last 6 or 8 months. Last 6 or 8 months. How has life been treating you? Every day is not perfect. You know what I mean? So even with success, you know, me knowing as well, you're gonna go through some things. But speaking on current, with everything that's going on in life, have you experienced anything to where it's like, even if it's a day or whatnot, that you felt depression?
Oh yeah, like you know what's crazy is that financially I'm in the best position I've ever been in my life. You know what I mean? I'm making more money than I ever thought I could make monthly.
Yes.
New revenue streams.
Yes.
Like everything on that forefront is great. But the time factor of it makes me depressed when it comes down to that, because like I'm not able to spend every day with my kids like I used to. You know what I mean? Like I used to wake up, see my daughter all day, watch her all day, do this, pick her up from school. You know what I mean? Take her to school, pick her up from school, after school program, help her with her homework, do what I got to do.
And time is everything. Man, that's important.
Wake up, see my son, do the same exact thing. And it's like now my schedule is getting so crucial, and traveling and doing certain stuff is like to the point now where I don't even, you know, go out to the clubs no more like I used to. You know what I mean?
Every little extra time you're going to spend with the kids.
You know what I mean? Just on the weekends now,
yes.
I make sure I get my kids.
Dedicated to them.
I dedicated, but it's like, you know, my children live a little farther, and you know, with the LA traffic, by the time that I would even be able to go grab them up and see them real quick, I got to be right back on camera and doing something else. So sometimes, man, it really be getting to me. It's like, damn, the money is good, but time-wise, I be like missing my children. So that be getting me depressed sometimes.
Exactly, because it's definitely not always. Some people look at it as like, man, it's about the money, man. You know, the kids going to understand. Like, no, they're not going to understand, because you got to build memories, you know, with your kids. That's very important in life. That's things that they're going to grow up one day and share with their own kids. Like I remember my dad, I remember my, you know, and they're going to express that. So definitely, you know, success, man. And one thing I had to learn too, you know, coming up, man, is, you know, how I was in the hood, man. It was, you know, I dedicated my everything to it.
Every day.
You know, and then I look back and I say, I missed those times that I could have had, but I was so locked in to what I believed in. So my thing and my advice that I give to everybody, man, spend every moment you can, definitely, you know, with your kids, man. Definitely do that, you know, and depression, you know, even with me, I have, you know, sometimes I have bad days. You know, people look at me and be like, but man, you so positive, you so humble, but they don't realize it be so much going on in behind the scene, you know, that people don't see. You know, the behind the scene is where the trauma is. It's where the pain is.
You didn't call me.
You know,
you didn't call me a couple times.
It's crazy, you know, and people be shocked, like, wow, like, man, you go through it? Like, yes.
But that's because, you know, even in the neighborhood, you was somebody that everybody came to. And it's like, when you the guy everybody run to, who does the guy that everybody run to, who does he talk to vent and go through his problems? You know what I'm saying? Like, I can fix everybody's right here, but who can fix this one?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And that be a thing too. Like, I love what I do, and I never look at, like, I was talking to a gentleman, man, he's gonna call in as well, 18 years old, man, he's paralyzed. You know, he got shot and he's paralyzed. And before that, you know, his life was, you know, he was doing tattoos, he was going out, he was into boxing, you know, he was doing things. And it's crazy how a life can just take a 360-degree spin. You know, you can go from good to bad, you know, in just a matter of seconds. So that's why it's very important that I always tell people, man, to, you know, cherish your life. You know, you got to cherish your life. It's very important, and it should be a factor to in everyone's life, man. A lot of people don't value their life now, and they let themselves go. A lot of people let themselves go, to drugs, because I got a lot of people that that watch No Jumper. Like, they come to No Jumper every day. This is their life, to come watch everyone on No Jumper,
Real shit.
And it motivates them and inspires them. And a lot of them reach out to me, and several I've talked into going to like rehab. But a lot of people that watch the show, man, like, are battling demons, and a lot of those demons that they're battling is like drugs. And any advice, definitely when you got young people, that's being influenced. And a lot of our people are being influenced by music.
True.
A lot of the music is corrupting the minds, they don't care. A lot of cats don't care. They kids are not living through what a lot of the kids are going through. Their kids are in colleges or private schools, and they're living a amazing life. But we can't forget about the people that's going through the struggle. Like, every day somebody's going through a struggle, and giving advice to these people, because I know you do it. I know people reach out to you as well and talk to you about what they're going through. And it's important to be the voice. We got to get more people to step up and start really being a voice to inspire our people out here. It's important, but we're lacking on it. Definitely, we lacking on it. So what it like in your position of what you do, from music to podcasting to food networking to just everything you do? What advice would you say you could give to our young people out there? Like, they want to do something with their life to make their life better. And one thing a lot of people say, well, I don't have the money. Like,
you don't need no money.
You don't need the money. You definitely got a network. So what can you pretty much, express to them?
Money can enhance something that's already there.
Yes.
That's the only thing money can do.
Yes.
You have to have that passion, and you got to start with the bare minimums. So even like with music, when I first started music, I didn't have a microphone. I didn't have a studio to go to. I didn't have no equipment.
Nope.
I literally had a little Mickey Mouse mic that was like a little child, toy thing, probably 30, 40 bucks. Plug that in there and use that to the best of my abilities.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Using the fucking sound recorder on the computer and uploading that in hopes somebody would hear it and, want to fuck with me. And that's actually how motherfuckers start, messing with me.
Yes. Exactly.
Them unmixed, them sounding like crap, but people can hear the potential. And when they hear the potential, somebody may reach out, or especially in today's times, in 2022.
Yes,
you can do a lot of shit. Motherfucker be like, hey man, I got a bag for you. Your life can change in a quick second,
matter of a second,
quick second. But that's the problem, and a lot of people, I tell them this all the time because they feel like I don't have all the tools that I need. So they sit there and let time go by and still don't have the tools that they need.
Yes.
Instead of just trying something. It don't have to be the best. If you want to stream, you don't have to have the best quality equipment to start streaming. Man, you don't have to have all these things. And if you think like that, you're doing yourself a disservice. You know what I mean? I'd rather me build the infrastructure and start little by little than have my shit look the best and nobody's watching my shit. You know what I mean? So,
exactly. Because you got people, man, that's in jail making mixtapes.
Yeah. There's no excuse.
Studio on your phone.
It's no excuse. You can literally do anything, like you said, from your phone. You can do anything from your phone. Everybody that sit there, y'all play Call of Duty all day, y'all play 2K, y'all play Madden. You can literally plug up your shit to your console and stream if you want to.
You can.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I like to tell people too, like everything I do now that I find cool, I want to get paid from the shit. So if I'm gonna play the video games, nigga, hey, even if it's a little bit of money, I want to play the games and get paid. You know what I mean?
Anything beats a zero.
I want to wear my clothes. Yes. I want to listen to my music. I want to do everything and have that infrastructure right there. And then, yeah, something this may not hit, but this shit hitting over here, then that shit hit over here. Okay, and then boom, I build something from there, right there, and then pull that over. And man, now you just have all these different products and you got all these different things that you enjoy doing. You know what I mean? You're not forced to do it for a bag, but you're getting paid to do what you love to do. So find
Yes.
your passion, you know what I
Yes.
mean, and start working on how you can get monetary gain from that.
Yes. And like you said, how it started, like when we started with music, you know, back in the days, man, like we had a 4-track, you know, we had 4 tracks, you know, your vocal, you know, the beat, your chorus, and whatever else you do with the 4th one. And that was it. And then it went from there to a 6-track. You know, then we started having the ADATs, you know, looked at like the VCR tapes and so on until Haywood put me in the studio and we had the 2-inch reels. But prior to that, I used to go to the studio also with Mixmaster Spade. Definitely. And man, music, you know, music has changed a lot, and music also is medicine. You know, like, you know, a lot of music that's out there, music that really, really uplift people, that inspire people, that, because a lot of people's going through something, and sometimes music could get them through it, you know, as well. You know, some people turn on certain songs when they feel in a certain way, and that certain song make them change the thoughts of how they feel. Definitely. Recently, man, a story, I was at the 7-Eleven, and it's crazy. One thing I want to say before I tell the story is speak to people. You know, people don't speak to people no more.
They don't.
You know, nobody greets nobody no more. Nobody says what's up no more. They're mad dog.
And that's messed up because, you know, the way I grew up, you driving through your neighborhood, you driving everywhere around, everybody is waving.
Yes.
And you just wave back.
Yes.
Something little as that.
Not in these days. But I was at the 7-Eleven, and, you know, it was a gentleman out there, and, you know, I get out the car and walk in. You know me, man, I speak to everybody. I don't care what color your skin is. I'm going to speak. Man, how you doing, man? I hope your day going good. And, you know, he kind of looked at me and said, man, thank you. You know, I walked in, and when I came back out, he said, can I ask you a question? I said, yeah, for sure you can ask me a question. He said, why did you speak to me? You know, I'm like, damn, we finna turn up. But he was like, what you mean why I speak to you? I said, I speak to everybody. He was like, no, well, the reason I asked you because, you know, to be honest with you, I was thinking about killing myself. And I'm like, what? Like for what? Like, what's going on in your life? He's like, well, you know, I'm homeless. I don't have no family. I don't have anything. And when you got out the car, I seen you get out the car, and when you spoke to me, like, it just made me feel like, man, that maybe people do still care about people in this world. But he said, man, I was thinking about killing myself. And just you speaking to me alone made me see, man, that I'm not in this world by myself, and that there is people that care. It blew me away. But I speak to everybody. You never know what a person is going through just by looking at that person. You never know, man. You never know. Just the slightest, hey, how you doing, man, could change a person's whole day. No more communication it's not what it used to be. People used to communicate with people more than they do now. Like, now everybody it's a lot of selfishness.
A lot.
You know, going on in the world, man. And a lot of people, you know, preach let's come together and fix the world. But if you're not playing your part or your position in changing the narratives on how life is, then how is it going to be fixed? Definitely. Oh yeah, that's definitely for sure, man. My thing is, what I want to do, Neff, is find a way, man, to create to be the face and never give up. You know, because I know what it feel like to stand there, to have a gun in your hand, man, and to feel like I need to exit. There's no need. There's no purpose. What am I still living for? I feel like I'm just here taking up space. So I know that feeling. You know, I've been in those shoes, and it's not a good feeling. You know, it's definitely not a good feeling, especially when it's like, well, who do you express yourself to when you're feeling like this? Who can you talk to at a time like this? Especially who pretty much I was in the neighborhood. It was like, I guess you could say it would be embarrassing, you know, to come to somebody and tell them, and then they looking at me like who the person is, because when people speak up on how they feel, a lot of people instead of embracing them, they talk down on them.
They do.
You know, they talk down. They get on their phones and get to calling everybody and making you look like you know
crazy.
What I mean? Yeah, like you crazy. Or don't go around him. He was talking about killing himself. You know, and then when it actually happens to someone and someone actually succeed in it, then now everybody is, oh, that was my peoples. I just talked to him yesterday. Now they posting you on social media and a number of love. And man, I wish he would have talked to me. He did. He told you, he expressed how he felt, but you took it the wrong way.
You told niggas, and that's the problem now, man. Like a lot of people don't take, mental health serious.
They don't.
And as somebody that had anxiety problems, almost my whole not my whole life, but up until 17, up until now I'm 33, like I've been dealing with that shit, you know what I mean? And every year or two, shit come back with a vengeance. You know what I mean?
It get worse every time.
It get worse every time, and it'd be like, damn, and life can be going great.
Yes.
But it's them silent battles. We got trauma from years back that we don't even talk about. We bury it deep inside.
Yes.
And sometimes that shit just come pouring out. And you don't know why. You could be sitting there having a good day and then out of nowhere, you know what I mean? Got them symptoms, your heart start racing, you thinking crazy, like man, that's just crazy. And I tell people all the time, man, mental health is real. And it's kind of fucked up in a lot of minority communities, man. Like up until I would say about now, it's still not where it's supposed to be. But up until now, like before, like I would be afraid to tell people that I was going through anxiety problems. Like I'm like, damn, they're gonna think I'm weak. They're gonna think I'm a bitch. Like I'm on some other shit. So
that's the first thing a person wanna think.
I wouldn't tell nobody.
Yeah.
I would go through this shit. You know what I mean? Go to the doctor, and then people would ask me, "Oh, why you not coming out here?" And I don't want to tell them like, "Oh,
I had a
panic attack."
Yeah.
Or like right now, I'm not in the mental space to even be out places because if I go somewhere, I'm gonna freak out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's crazy too. And the last time I had an episode, man, I let one of my close friends know. And he was so mad. He was like, "Man, why you didn't let me know?" I was like, "Man, I ain't want nobody to judge me." Like,
exactly.
People look at me to being hard and being the guy that everybody can run to and shit like that. But like you say, bro, we all go through our battles and shit like that. So, a lot of motherfuckers, they hit me up almost every day, and they're like, "Bro, I'm going through this. You got some advice?" Try to give them advice, bro, because just that little bit can help somebody go a long way.
It really can. It really can. And it's a trip, too, because I know about them panic attacks, man.
Man, them motherfuckers the worst.
A couple times I've had them, I'll be driving.
Oh, yeah, that's the worst, too.
You know what I mean? I'll be driving, everything cool, music on, and next thing you know, man, is, you know what I mean? You break out in a sweat, your heart beating fast, and like paranoid. Like it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I done drove myself to the hospispital before.
Oh, I did.
You know what I mean? I didn't know if I was having. I didn't know if it was a heart attack or what.
And that's what I thought. And then you go to the doctor. Yeah. Oh, you're fine.
You good? You may be low in your electrolytes, but you good. Like what?
And then no, check my blood.
Yeah.
I literally had my blood checked. The last time I had a CAT scan, I convinced myself that I had like a brain tumor or something like that.
Aneurysm or something.
Something. And I go there and it's like, no, you're fine. I'm like, what? I'm like, all right, I got to get a hold of this. And, I found an app. And this ain't y'all already know if y'all watch, it's called Dare. This ain't no sponsored shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, Dare, I really found that app. And literally, I had to teach myself how to drive again. You know what I mean? When I stopped drinking and shit. Yeah, like literally had to teach myself how to drive again. I couldn't be in the car for more than 5-10 minutes without like freaking out. And that shit helped me deal with panic attacks. It helped me learn how to drive again. Just
so what do it actually do for you?
It gives you steps. You don't just do everything at one time. So a lot of them are like on a week basis. So you go to step 1. And step 1 for like driving. If you have a problem having anxiety in cars, I know people who had a lot of car accidents, and they get in the car and they be like, you know what I mean? They're afraid that they're gonna get in an accident.
Yes.
So that's you can use it for that too. So like step 1 was literally like, all right, sit in the car, don't drive nowhere.
Just sit there.
Put your hands on the wheels and just relax, and you feel comfortable inside the vehicle. You know what I mean? And then step 2 would be you just do a little more. And then eventually, you know, you go around the block and then, you know, you take them long distances again and you learn how to deal with it. And I remember the worst time, because I was having alcohol withdrawals, you know what I mean? And at night, like I had insomnia, and that's the worst.
Ooh,
when you can't fucking sleep at all. 2-3 days, like you try to go to sleep and you can't go to sleep. Like that's the fucking worst. And I remember going through the insomnia, and I'm like, fuck, like it's just eating me up because I'm like, I can't go to sleep. And you can close your eyes, you can get comfortable, you can bust a nut, you can do whatever. None of that shit make you go to sleep. It's like my mind wouldn't turn off. It was like a TV, like literally like somebody had a remote in my brain and they would turn next channel, next channel, next channel all day. And the worst it got was to like 3 days almost. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I was like, fuck. I'm fucked up right now. But going through that whole time, like having panic attacks left and right. And you know, like I said, getting in the car, you get in the car and you like, man, you start freaking out. So you drive yourself to the hospital and you get tested, you get all these tests. Nothing wrong. And then, you know, I remember the worst time it happened. I was afraid to be alone. I was afraid to not be around people just in case something happened to me. And I was supposed to get my kids. Both my kids, they moms, they was like, oh, they called me. They was like, we can't come. You know what I mean? My girl, she wasn't there. My brother wasn't at the house. And I literally had to go home alone. And when I went home alone, I opened that door, I start having the worst panic attack of all time.
Like, what I'm going to do?
Because I'm thinking that I have, like, health issues.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I'm having a stroke. I don't know if I'm having a heart attack. But I'm literally, like, sitting there freaking out. And I get on the couch, and I look at the app, and I have a section that says, like, panic attack. And it'll walk you through you having a panic attack. And part of you having your panic attack is you basically give your anxiety a face. You give it a face, and you give it, like, I think they say, like, a funny looking monster or something like that. Something that you're comfortable with. And the thing is like, not to eliminate it,
yeah,
but to acknowledge it and live with it and just know how to handle it.
So the picture something is there.
Picture something.
Put a face to it.
And you challenge it. You challenge your anxiety. And that's the scary part.
And it calms you down?
Well, you challenge it. So basically, they tell you like, hey, all right, you tell yourself, do your worst, but I'm only going to give you this time frame to do it. And then you like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? It sounds crazy, but you challenge it. And then you do your worst. And after this time, it's not gonna fuck with me no more. And then, man, the worst time I sat there, did it, I challenged it. 20 minutes go by. I'm like, okay, I'm good.
It went away.
Because
you won the battle.
I won the battle. So every time that I feel it creeping, I know how to handle that. You know what I mean? And still to this day, I be having little situations happen, but now I know nothing wrong with it.
Not as bad as it.
Well, I know how to handle it now.
Okay.
Nothing's wrong. See, the thing is, if you don't know what you're up against, if you ain't equipped with the knowledge, then you're going to be fucked up every time. And them hospital bills are very, very expensive.
Very expensive, yes.
Like the last one I racked up, if I didn't have health insurance, I'd have been fucked.
Yeah.
$15,000.
Yeah.
Just to get a CAT scan, get blood tests, go to emergency, all that. $15,000. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thank goodness for health insurance.
Oh, shit. Man, I'd have been hurting.
When was the last time you had one? Been a minute? Ooh.
I would say,
if you got to think about it, that's good because it's been a minute.
No, actually wasn't a minute.
No?
I almost had one, but I stopped it. And that was this weekend.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was at a Rams game and man, like.
Yeah, when my Cowboys beat the Rams.
yeah, when they beat them. Hey, no, but I was at the game and a lot of motherfuckers they was hollering at me, hey D, what's up? Like, that's probably the most pictures I ever took in my life at one time. You know what I mean? Like I took like 70 fucking pictures. You know what I mean? Just
Watch when you
every
go to
time I
Japan.
walk, yeah. No, but like everybody's like, hey, and I kind of got overwhelmed. I went to the bathroom, and people in the bathroom they screaming, and motherfuckers is hey, and then just the sounds of the stadium and the game, the sounds just period, and I'm sitting there, bro, and I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm overwhelmed, but having that knowledge, I'm sitting there like, no, ain't nothing wrong with you. Go get some water and nigga just chill and sit here. Cause nigga, ain't nothing wrong with you.
You think it was the amount of like the mass of people that kind of do it? Because I remember being at a theme park, and you know how when you're in line and you're waiting, to go in somewhere, and you got a crowd of people in the front, you're in the center, we're waiting, and then a bunch of people behind us. And was standing there. It was hot. Next thing you know,
tripping,
shirt jumping, heart jumping through my shirt, and I'm like, wow, it's definitely a serious feeling. It's something serious, but getting control of it. I haven't had one in many years. I don't know. I guess it just faded away,
but
for some reason.
How to handle it.
Yeah. I had to learn that. I had to learn how to calm myself down, because it always seemed like I had them when I'm in the car by myself. I didn't have them when I was with nobody in the car with me.
And see, the crazy thing that every time that it would leave for, like you said, it would leave for years. Every time it would come back, and I told my mom this, and she was like, you shouldn't think like this. I'm so used to bad news and losses in my life that when shit is going good, I'm just waiting
to happen.
I'm just waiting for something to come around the corner and be bad fucking news. And that alone gives you anxiety.
Yes.
So, it was like, I'm like, damn, everything's going good. Everything's going good in life. Everything's going good in life. Something is bound to go wrong. Something's bound to go wrong.
Yes.
And then you start thinking it could be health. So at first I was like, all right, I was afraid to go to the doctor. Like, I have a checkup for almost a decade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So in the back of my head, I'm thinking that I'm potentially sick, and afraid to go to the doctor to get the bad news. And I'm just going through life thinking that I'm fucking sick. And part of that app that I use was, if you feel something is wrong with you, go get checked.
Go to the doctor. Don't wait.
Yeah, and I went, and bro, and it was funny because I right before the Super Bowl, the last Super Bowl, I was telling my auntie little symptoms and stuff that I had, and she was like, she freaked me out. She was like, I'm taking you now. And I go to the doctor, and I get the CAT scan, I get the blood work, I did the urine test, I did everything. And they still had COVID protocols.
Yes.
So I'm there by myself, so I'm already fucked up because of that. And I'm sitting there, I got the IV in me, and I'm sitting on the bed for almost 2 hours, and that whole time I'm sitting there thinking,
it's all bad.
They about to tell me some bullshit. They about to tell me some bullshit, and the guy comes back, the chart is like, yeah, nothing wrong with you. And he shows me all my blood tests, and I'm like, everything's in a normal range. You know what I mean? I'm like, after a decade, I'm like, fuck.
And that's a cold feeling, man, when you be sitting in that emergency and they take all them tests, and you just sitting there waiting, and
you don't know.
And you got people in the other little, areas to this side of you, and you hear something bad over here, like, oh, this and that, we're going to have to take you to emergency surgery. You hear that, and you waiting for your results, and it's like, boy, that's when that spookiness
That's that spooky.
You get to thinking about all the bad stuff you did. And they come in like, oh, no, you good. It's nothing. Like, whoo, let me get out of here.
Man.
I'm out of here. Definitely. That's what's up, man. I definitely want to keep doing what I'm doing, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Because, I've been doing this for a long time, man. Like, getting out there, really, really speaking up, man, because mental health, people don't take it serious. When people say they're going through something, a lot of people don't embrace what they're saying. They overlook it like, oh, man, ain't nothing wrong with you, man. You good. Like, no, this person is really crying for help. When a person is crying for help, it's best that people really take it serious, man, and pay close attention. You know, sometimes people will mention, you know, certain way they say certain things that you have to pay close attention to as well, because a person can express that they're going through it and say it in a way not even coming out like, oh man, I feel bad right now. I ain't feeling too good right now. But sometimes when people be like, man, you good, like, oh yeah, man, I'm all right, or I'm gonna be all right. You know that I'm gonna be all right. Something going on. So I normally be like, man, let's talk about it. You know, because if a person say I'm gonna be all right, then there's something that, even if it's not something big, you know, it's still something. And little things add up to big things. Is what I've learned. It do add up. And too much pressure busts a pipe.
Facts.
And that's when a person, you know, they get the feeling like everybody's turned their back on them, or they don't, you know, who's really there for me, who's really here for me. Just like when I was homeless, you know, I used to be like, man, nobody don't care. You know, you stay at this homie house, but yeah, that's cool and all, but it's just the way that, you know, I felt. Like nobody really gave a damn. No, how you care about me and you're not walking in my shoes. You know, that's the way I used to think. And I even had to change the way I think, because there is people out there that really care. Mm-hmm. But you have to figure out which ones do. You know, because sometimes, man, in these days, man, you will get more love, man, from a stranger than people that's supposed to be flesh and blood, supposed to be family. You know, you get more love from a stranger, man, and it's crazy that it's like that. You know, you'll get a lot of compliments. People will reach out to you and it'll be like, man, keep doing what you're doing. You know, I see what you're doing, man. I respect what you're doing, what you represent, what you stand for. When you got loved ones, man, that they don't do that. And we all got the same 24 hours in a day, and I'd rather spend my 24 hours, man, doing something that's gonna add up, that's gonna make sense. You know, even, you know, looking back on my past, man, and looking at me now, like I'm really happy with what I'm doing. Like a lot of people wasn't happy, you know, when I transitioned and shift my life, you know, for the better. Now, you know what? I did it negative for so long, even though I done a lot of the wrong things for the right reasons. But I'm shifting from the old me. I love what I'm doing. I love the new me. This is very important, man, and it's missing because guidance. There's not a lot of guidance in the world. You know, even when we were younger, you know, we did have OGs, you know, that would give us some real advice, that would kind of, you know, put us up on game. Wouldn't just have us out there like a chicken with his head cut off. You know, so I definitely look back on that, man, and I look at my life now, and, you know, I'm proud of me, you know? Definitely, man. And proud of you.
Proud of you, too.
You know? It's all about, you know, every day, man, you got to make something best for yourself. Every day. You can't rush. One thing I learned, too, you can't rush success. A lot of people get frustrated, and they lose interest, and they lose hope because it takes time. Like, man, it's not working, man. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing all I can, man, but it's just not making sense. So, you know, man, I'm finna do something else. This ain't it. And I'm like, well, you can't give up, because you can't put a time frame on success. You can't say, you know what, next week, November 12th, man, I'm gonna be successful. Nobody could say that. You know, you got to keep grinding. And like you said, get a whiteboard, man, write some goals down. You know, and every time you achieve one, you put a check by it, and you move to the next one. You know, you know what it take to grind. Come on, man, you've been grinding for years. I know what it take to grind, and it don't happen overnight. When it happen overnight, it leave overnight.
Facts.
It don't stay. It don't stick around. You know, just like fast money. You know, when the cat was hustling, that fast money, you get that fast money, it's gone. But that money you actually go out there and get the right way, it stick around. You appreciate it more. You definitely appreciate it more. So that's another thing that I learned. And I love, like I said, I love what I'm doing now. I'm going to continue to do it. I'm going to continue pushing the face of never give up, man, because we got people out here with no hope that don't know who to turn to. And my thing, my calling, that I used to think music was my calling because I make music that make people think. You know, the music I make, it make them think. I make it touch their hearts. You know, and they get into it. And I used to think, okay, well, my music is what's going to actually help people. You know, that's how, you know, I thought then. It's more about getting out there, actually, you know, expressing your voice, expressing yourself, letting people see the person. You know, you can put your face on the cover of your music. That's cool and all, but them actually physically seeing that person, you know, speaking and sharing his life and sharing what he's been through to help people get through it. And that's what it is, man. Take what you've been through and share it with others. That way it can help them get through things, you know? Definitely what we got to continue to do is what I'm going to continue to do, and I'm sure you're going to do the same thing.
100%.
We got to.
100%.
Mandatory. We got to, man. So I had somebody calling in, but I guess loved one didn't get a chance to, so it's all good. All good. Because like I said, the young gentleman, man, he wanted to call in and express himself because he reached out to me and he was really going through it. And he didn't even think I was going to hit him up. You know, when he messaged me, it was like, man, I'm sending you this message. You know, I'm going through it. I don't know who else to talk to. I need some advice. And he like, it's cool, man, because I know you're not going to hit me back up. That's a lot of things that I learned, too, from people that message me. You know, they feel like I'm not going to contact them. But, man, I love this. This is what I love to do.
Made it your mission.
I made it my mission, you know, and definitely. So when I read his message and he had put his number there, I called him. And he was like, man, no way, you called. I'm like, I'm supposed to. Like, what you put your number there for if I'm not going to call you?
That's the whole point.
Yeah, that's the whole point, you know? That's the whole point. So he was happy with it, and that's just it, man. I just want to uplift people, man. That's really what I want to do, man, is I go through enough in my personal life, man, that it's like the more I put myself out there to do better, to show people how to improve, it's like the more drama that, you know, that comes at me, man. The more you do good, the more, you know what I mean, the devil try to bring you down.
Man, every time.
You know, and it's a trip because you'd be surprised out of the woodworks of the people that become the devil. It's the part that gets me the most. You know, it be the people you least expect. They be like, oh, okay, this whole time you've been the devil, but it was just a matter of time before you actually took your mask off and showed your horns. So, you know, it's crazy, man. But one thing I know for sure, only me can stop me. You know what I mean? Only you can stop you. No, nobody can stop us, man. And we're not about to allow, you know, no one to stop us. That's just it, you know? So I'm going to keep going through it all, man, through it all. You know, everybody's not going to like what I'm doing. I'm okay with that. I can live with that because it's not for everybody.
That's your mission.
It's my mission. And you know, I've invited, you know me, I've always invited people into my world. Look, come be a part of this. Come, let's work.
A lot of people afraid to even face it, though.
True. A lot of people are, but you can't be because it's a part of life. You know, it's a part of life. You can't be afraid of it. It's important. It's important. It's needed. People need this. People need someone that they can, you know, actually talk to, man. Especially me. I get on the phone with people. I really talk to people. I give out my number to people so they can call me, you know? And that's the thing. What I'm on changing how people look at life, you know? And I'm building from that, man. How people look at life. Never give up. Life gets better, man. I'm living proof. Life gets better. Yeah, I've been through a lot, but at the same time, made it through it. If there's a will, there's a way. You can make it through it. Just never give up. Believe in yourself. And don't let nobody tell you you can't make it.
Amen.
You know? That's what it's about, straight up. What up, y'all? This OG Suicide. Sitting there with my nephew, AD. Man, this is episode 2 of OG Suicide in the building. Make sure y'all tune in. Man. every week. Make sure you tune in.
Comment,
OG
subscribe.
Suicide in the Building. Comment, subscribe.
Everything.
Everything. Holla.